Now, I promised you this video over a month ago. Today, we're actually going to do it. Hello family, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I am Vicki and you're with Graham in the Kitchen. So this is going to be the hamburger buns we made a while back, and I told you if they turned out good, we were going to make them together. We're making them together today. This recipe is from a YouTuber, a vlogger, all things homestead, mom and wife from Hopewell Heights. I like her channel. She does mostly voiceover, and that's only because it's her real life. She's kids running in and out of the house, doing all the things. But she has some good techniques on gardening, homesteading, taking care of your young, growing family. Check her out. So this is her recipe. It is not mine. I'll share a link to her recipe below. Please go check her out. So it's a very simple, sorry, it's very early in the morning. It's a very simple dump and go recipe. Everything goes in the stand mixer bowl and gets whipped up together. So I have 1 1/3 cups of water, 1/4 cup of milk, 1 1/2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of dry active yeast, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1/4 cups of flour, 1/4 cup of softened butter, 2 teaspoons of salt, and 1 egg. I want to scrape down the sides just a bit. I ran out of my good flour that I get from Azure Standard, the Central Milling Artisan Flour, I think it's called. I actually got some coming this Thursday. I had to buy flour from the store. Family, this is conventional flour from Food Lion, and I do not like it at all. I bought 5 pounds hoping that will last me, and it's lasting me only because I don't like the flour, but I need the hamburger buns. But this is not coming together like I want it to. So I have about 3/4 of a cup of flour, I'm not going to knead it all. I'm just going to add a little bit at a time until it comes together. The way you can tell if your dough is ready is when you touch it, it should be tacky, but it should not be sticking to your fingers. So we need more flour. It's still sticky. Oh, I'm not liking this flour. Family, we might have to do this again when we get our good flour, but I need hamburger buns today. So I got some flour down on my surface. I'm going to hand knead it a little bit. It is still too sticky. So I'm turning the dough just a bit. And I'm right-handed. This is my right hand. So with my left hand, I'm turning, picking up with my right hand, pushing down, turn, pick up, push down. Then you can do it with your left hand also. All right, let's see if that's going to work. I'll move this flour out of my way. Get whatever flour we have on the dough, incorporate it, see if it's still sticky. All right, so when we push our finger in it, it should not be sticking to our hands, and it's still doing that. So we are not ready. So let's incorporate a little bit more flour. I'm reading the instructions that I wrote down from her website. I have all the ingredients in here in the right measurement. So the only thing different is the flour. And this is a Food Lion brand flour and not my really good flour I get from Azure Standard in a 50-pound bag. Move this flour out of our way and let's just do some kneading. Much better. Okay, we are there. I have a little bit of olive oil in our mixing bowl. Swish, swish, swish. Flip. Cover. We're going to let this rise for about 40 minutes. But if your house is warm or if your kitchen's warm or if your stove is warm, you can just place it on your stove. It will take the whole 40 minutes. But if your house is cold and chilly, like right now my house is a little on the chilly side, it's going to take forever to rise. I do have a bread proofing setting on my oven. I'm going to put this in the oven. I have it on the bread proofing setting for 40 minutes, and I'll bring you back when we're ready to shape it and let it do its second rise. Now, the reason I picked this hamburger bun out of all the hamburger buns online is I typed in quick and easy soft hamburger buns. And this is what came up as number one. I am familiar with Hopewell Heights, the website with their YouTube channel, so I says, okay, I'm going to try it. And family, we absolutely love it. So I'll bring you back in about 40 minutes when it's time to shape those hamburger buns. In the meantime, I still have dishes I need to do from earlier today. That's all part of cooking from scratch. There is a lot of dishes. But my family is eating healthy. So we had the hamburger buns in the oven on the proof setting for 40 minutes. I do want to weigh the bulk of the dough, divide that by 12 in grams. I'm going to put my bowl, tear it out to 0, put in my dough. So the total is 1,225 grams divided by 12 is 102 grams. So we're going to make each one 102 grams. Oop, tear it out to 0. You do not have to do the measurements. Just divide them up into 12 will be fine. But I always end up with a wonky one at the end. It's either too big or too small. So now we're going to roll up our dough. I'm just doing it the same way I do with my pizza dough. And now we're going to go and flatten them out to probably about 3.5 inches wide, about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch thick. Now you want to make sure the tops are flat and you don't have a little bubble or a bump in the middle. Let's see, what can we call it? A pitcher's mound. Perfect. Because that's the way it's going to bake when we're ready to bake it. And we don't want our buns to just have a slight mound to it. But if you start off with a mound in the middle, it's just going to get bigger. So we're going to take some plastic wrap, cover these up. They don't have to be tightly covered. We just don't want air circulating on the top of these and drying them out. I'm going to put this back in the oven on the proof setting, and we're going to let it proof for another 40 minutes, and then we'll be almost ready to bake them. Our hamburger buns have been rising for 40 minutes. Let's go ahead and take the plastic wrap off. I do have the oven preheating to 425 degrees. We have an egg. We're going to do an egg wash on the top. And I'm just going to add just a small pinch of salt. The salt will just help break down the protein and make the egg more fluid. So I have a baster. I call it a paintbrush. Let's go ahead and paint some egg wash on all of these buns. So I have some sesame seeds. I'm going to put sesame seeds on half of these because I do like the flavor of the sesame seeds on my hamburger buns. The husband is 50-50. He doesn't really care if it's there or not. So we're only going to do half. Now we're going to bake this in a 425-degree oven for 15 minutes. After the first 10 minutes, I'm going to take them out and put a wire rack underneath this parchment paper. I find cooking it the whole 15 minutes at 425, the bottoms get a little bit too dark for me. And I think the last time I did this, I did put the wire rack under the 10 minutes and it seemed to do better. So in 10 minutes, I'm going to take this out of the oven and put the wire rack underneath. The buns have been in the oven for 10 minutes. And I'm going to try to slide this wire rack right underneath that parchment paper. So this was on the front of the oven. This was on the back. I'm going to do a 180. Put this in the back and put this in the front. Just rotating the hamburger buns. And we're just going to cook that for another 5 minutes. And then they're going to be ready to come out of the oven. Now the reason I didn't put the wire rack underneath that parchment paper at the beginning of baking those hamburger buns, because I didn't want the hamburger buns to start going into the little squares of that wire rack, and then we have inconsistency at the bottom. I want them flat, but I don't want them burnt either. So that's why we waited 10 minutes before we put it on there, and then we cooked the last 5 minutes on the wire rack. Okay, 15 minutes is up. I do want to take the temperature. We're reading 210 degrees. Oh, perfect. They're done. But look how beautiful they are. And the bottoms cooked perfect. So we're going to let these sit here and cool off completely before we cut them open. And I found that these hamburger buns actually freeze, fall beautiful. I know we're not going to need all 12 of these, so we're actually going to put half in the freezer and keep half out for enjoying now. So I'm going to let them cool off, and then we're going to cut them open, freeze half, and then eat the other half when we're ready to have hamburgers or some sort of sandwiches. So I'll see you in a couple hours once these all cool off and we can get them cut open. So our hamburger buns have cooled off enough where we can handle them. Let's go ahead and get them sliced open. Get half in the freezer, half we're going to have tomorrow for dinner. Now I like slicing them before I put them in the freezer. That way I don't have to wait till they thaw to slice them and toast and have a sandwich. Because we can toast them when they're still just a tad bit frozen. All we have to do is open them up and put them in the toaster oven for about 2 to 3 minutes. And I'm using a serrated knife. So we have 6 hamburger buns that's going to go into the freezer. 6 hamburger buns we're going to have for dinner. So if you haven't checked out Hopewell Heights YouTube channel, I'm going to leave a link in the description below. Please go check her out. Show her some support. Please let her know that Grammy sent you. And if you don't mind, give this video a thumbs up. While you're at it, go ahead and subscribe. I will love to have you part of the Grammy family. In this kitchen, we learn the things, hamburger buns, from another YouTuber, and we do them ourselves. We make it homemade from scratch, so it's a nutrient-dense meal, even hamburger buns, to feed our family, to keep us going, to do the things we need to do each and every day. So please let me know if hamburger buns is something you want to learn how to make, if that is something you're interested in making, if you're going to make them, please leave a comment below. Go check out Hopewell Heights and let her know Grammy sent you. Until next time, y'all have a blessed day. Bye, family. I love these hamburger bun recipe. It's my favorite. It's my go-to.